Hey, what's up YouTubers? Lee John Blackmore here at Super Easy Guitar. So this week I'm going to show you 10 easy finger exercises. Well, they start off easy anyway, so they're for beginners, but as you get through, they get slightly more complicated, okay? But they're very, very important if you're a beginner, and they'll help you improve your finger stretch, your dexterity, and also your coordination between the left hand and the right hand using the correct picking. Okay, so let's zoom in and get straight into it. So let's start off nice and easy and nice and slow. And the first exercise is this. Now obviously we're going to do it much slower than that. We're just going to use our first two fingers, okay? And the first one is in the 3rd fret on the bottom E string, the 6th string. And then we're going to use our second finger, and that's going to play in the 4th fret, okay? Now make sure when you're doing your picking, you pick with nice controlled movements down, up, okay? And you notice I'm not using my elbow, I'm using my wrist, okay? Down, up. So here we go. It's going to go 3rd fret, 4th fret. Next string, 3rd fret, 4th fret. Same on all the strings. Down, up. Then you play 4th, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 3rd. Okay, let's do that. Here we go. So number 2, now we're going to use the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. So we're going to go in between frets 3 and fret 5. Sounds like this. Okay, now if you wanted to get this super accurate, you must concentrate on your picking, obviously, but you could set a metronome up with this as well. So I'm not doing it with a metronome right now. It's just to get you started, okay? But if you felt like it was too easy, set that metronome up to whatever BPM you're comfortable with and play along, okay? So let's just do that again. So it's going to be 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Number 3. Now we're going to do 1st finger, 2nd finger, and 3rd finger. So we're going to go frets 3, 4, and 5. Again, I'm still doing my down ups here. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, let's do it together slowly. So now number 4, we're starting to stretch the hand a little bit now. So we're starting in the 3rd fret with our 1st finger, and then we're going to use our pinky on the 6th fret, okay? So we're going to do this. Okay, now I wasn't doing the correct picking there, so that's how it's going to sound, okay? Now don't think you're just restricted to one position on the fretboard. If you get more confident and more advanced, and you can move it along anywhere. And so on, okay? Now into number 5. Now this is, you'll see all of these positions in guitar solos and guitar scales, whatever you're doing. So it's a good place to start, okay? And this one is what we're going to call a 1, 2, 4. So 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger. Now in this case, we're going to do it in G, so it's going to be the 3rd fret, the 4th fret, and the 6th fret. Again, concentrate on the picking. Now at number 6, we're kind of doing the opposite. We're going to do a 1, 3, 4. So the first finger, the third finger, and the fourth finger. So now we're on the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, and the 6th fret. Again, watch your picking. Here we go, slowly. So it sounds kind of strange. I know we're not actually too worried about the sound. It's more about the skill involved just to create that shape. Now we're on to number 7, and we're going to it's what's a chromatic scale. We've kind of done a bit of it already, except this time we're going to use all 4 fingers. So now we're going to go 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret. Now I actually saw Slash using this as a warm-up exercise. One of his videos, he was doing an interview and someone asked him what does he use to warm up, and this was one of the exercises. Okay, so check it out nice and slowly. 3rd fret to 6th fret, here we go. By no means is it perfect, you know, and that's why it's a good exercise. So clearly I need the practice as well. So on to number 8. Now this is super important. If you want to learn how to play guitar solos, then obviously you're going to have to learn some scales. And this is one of the major scales. It's actually the major scale to learn, okay? So if you already know the pentatonic, this is kind of your next step. And it starts, we're going to do it in G just because there's a nice good stretch. If it's too hard, then you can move it up to B, which is the 7th, okay? So now I'm swapping the fingers just slightly. I'm going to start with my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret. Now each finger is dedicated its own fret. My 1st finger is only ever going to play in this fret. My 2nd only ever in this, 3rd and 4th. Okay? So if you watch, they only play in those specific frets. So let's do this in 2 halves so it's nice and easy to learn, okay? So you start off on the bottom E, 2nd finger in the 3rd fret. Then pinky in the 5th, over to the next string, 2nd fret. 3rd fret, 5th fret. Over to the next string, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. That's the first half, okay? Now at this point, because you're thinking quite hard about the left hand, don't worry too much about getting the picking correct. You can do it just downstrokes, just to make it simple for now, but then remember to go back and work the picking correctly, okay? Now what we're going to do then, we're going to start on the pinky and we're going to do the 2nd octave. So now we're going to start on the 5th fret with the pinky on the D string. Then we're going to go to the 2nd fret, 1st finger on the G, 3rd 4th fret, 5th fret, then the next string, which is going to be our second finger in the 3rd fret, pinky in the 5th, 1st finger in the 2nd, and 2nd finger on the 3rd. Let's just do that again. And there's your 2nd octave. Okay, let's do the whole thing. Now, because it's more complicated, you don't have to do it backwards straight away. You can work on your picking, but it's always good if you learn it in reverse. So number 9, we're going to do the opposite to major. We're going to do the natural minor, and it sounds like this. And back down. Okay, so this one is definitely more fiddly, okay, it's slightly more advanced. So let's do it together. Now we're going to start the 1st finger on the 3rd fret, okay, on the bottom E. Then we're going to go 5th with the 3rd finger, 6th with a pinky. We're going to do those same frets on the A string, 3rd, 5th, 6th. Now it's very important to use the correct fingers. Then we're going over to the D string, playing the 3rd fret and then the 5th fret. Okay, let's do that together. Okay, and then obviously we start on the, because that's G, it's the octave. So we're going to do the 2nd octave now, and it starts on the 3rd finger on the G string, and then we're going to go over 1st finger on the 2nd fret on the G, 2nd finger, 3rd fret on the G, pinky, 5th fret on the G, 1st finger on the 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the B, 6th fret on the B, and then 1st finger, 3rd fret on the top E. So let's do the whole thing. And back. Now just pay close attention to what fingers I'm using up. And back, they're slightly different. So if you didn't quite get that, don't worry too much, okay? So number 10, we're going to do a diminished arpeggio, okay? Now I will cover diminished scales in another lesson, but this is just to get you started. And it's what I did on the intro. It sounds like this. Okay, and so all I'm doing on every string, I'm doing the note, then I skip 2 frets, then do the next note. So I'm using my 1st and then my 4th finger. So for example, the first one is going to be 3rd fret and 6th fret. And the next string is going to be 4th fret and 7th fret. Next one, 5th fret and 8th fret. Okay, so if you're not too sure, just do the 1st finger. Alright, so the 1st finger is going to be 3, next string is going to be 4, next string is going to be 5, next string 6. Now on the B string the tuning is different, so we have to go to 8 and then 9 on the top E. So what we do now, every time we hit that note, skip 2 frets with your, and then hit the note with your pinky rather, okay? So it sounds like this. Next string, next string, next, skip a fret, remember, and then just come back in reverse. if you get really confident, you can just shift it a semitone. Sorry. So yeah, I need practice with these things as well, okay? Obviously I could delete that out, but it's good that you understand sometimes guitarists make mistakes, okay? That's why we practice. Every guitar player practices, okay? I just call it playing, all right? So I play the things I need to play, and some people call it practice, but I actually enjoy playing, so it's not a burden. Practice always sounds like a burden, whereas it shouldn't be, okay? Guitar is fun, all right? So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's lesson. Please don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Make sure you share it with your friends. Check out the links below, and I'll see you again the same time next week.